Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, and every single thought you think is under your control. No more distractions pulling you in 100 directions. No more self-doubt whispering that you can't do it. No more wasted energy on things that don't matter. Instead, your mind is like a perfectly tuned instrument, sharp, focused, powerful. Every idea is clear. Every decision is intentional. Every action moves you closer to your dream. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that over a century ago, one of the richest men in history, Andrew Carnegie, revealed a formula for exactly this: how to own your own mind. And Napoleon Hill, the author of the legendary Think and Grow Rich, wrote it all down in a forgotten book called How to Own Your Own Mind. Today, we're going to break down that formula step by step. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to take back control of your thoughts, harness your focus, and build the mental strength that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Chapter 1: Why this book matters. Now, before we dive into the lessons, let's talk about why this book is so special. Most self-help books today give you motivational quotes or surface-level tips. But Napoleon Hill didn't guess or theorize. He spent decades interviewing the most successful people of his time: Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, and of course Andrew Carnegie. Carnegie believed success was not an accident. It was a science, a repeatable formula. And the foundation of that formula was simple: if you can control your mind, you can control your destiny. How to own your own mind is Hill's attempt to bottle that wisdom. It's like having a private mentorship session with Carnegie himself. And the lessons are just as relevant today as they were 100 years ago, maybe even more, in a world full of constant distraction. Chapter 2: The First Key: Definiteness of Purpose. So let's begin with the first principle: definiteness of purpose. Carnegie said the biggest reason people fail isn't lack of talent or lack of resources. It's lack of direction. Most people drift through life like a ship without a compass. They go wherever the winds of circumstance take them. But successful people, they pick a destination. They decide, this is what I want. This is where I'm going. And then they align every thought, every decision, every action with that purpose. Hill describes definiteness of purpose as the starting point of all achievement. It's the difference between a flashlight beam and a laser. Both give off light, but only one can cut through steel. So here's your first challenge. Ask yourself, what is my definite purpose? Not 10 different things. Not vague wishes. But one clear goal. Maybe it's building a business. Maybe it's financial freedom. Maybe it's becoming the best in your field. Whatever it is, write it down. Commit to it. Make it your guiding star. Chapter 3: Creative Vision: Training the Imagination. Once you've chosen your purpose, you need ideas, and that's where creative vision comes in. Carnegie told Hill that the imagination is the most powerful workshop in the world. Every invention, every empire, every fortune started as an idea in someone's mind. But here's the problem. Most people let their imagination run wild without discipline. They daydream about lottery wins or fantasies, instead of using imagination as a tool. Hill explains that successful people direct their creative vision. They feed their minds with information, experiences, and challenges, and then they deliberately sit down to imagine solutions. Think of it like this: your imagination is a muscle. If you don't use it, it stays weak. But if you train it, it becomes a powerhouse. A practical exercise from the book: write down at least 5 new ideas every single day. They don't have to be brilliant. They don't even have to be useful at first. The point is to build the habit of creative thinking. Over time, one of those small ideas could turn into the breakthrough that changes your life. Chapter 4: Controlled Attention: The Art of Focus. Next comes controlled attention, the ability to focus your mental energy on what matters most. Carnegie believed this was one of the rarest skills in the world. Why? Because most people let their attention get hijacked. And remember, this was in the early 1900s, before smartphones, before TikTok, before constant notifications. If attention was a challenge back then, it's 10 times harder today. Controlled attention means learning to hold your mind on a single goal or problem until you find a solution. It's the difference between dabbling and mastery. Hill gives us a metaphor: the sun's rays. Spread out, they're warm. But focus them through a magnifying glass, and they can set fire. That's the power of concentration. Here's a simple practice. Each day, set aside 30 minutes of distraction-free focus on your most important task. No phone. No multitasking. Just deep, controlled attention. At first, your mind will resist. It'll wander. But the more you practice, the stronger your mental muscles get. Chapter 5: Organized Thinking. From Chaos to Clarity. Now, ideas and focus are powerful. But without organization, they're just chaos. That's why the next principle is organized thinking. Hill explains that your mind produces raw material, thoughts, impressions, flashes of insight. But if you don't sort and structure them, they're useless. Think about it like building a house. You can have bricks, wood, and nails lying around, but until you organize them into a plan, you don't have a home. Carnegie insisted that successful people don't just generate ideas. They filter, refine, and systematize them. They know which ideas to pursue, which to shelve, and which to discard. Hill recommends writing everything down. Put your ideas on paper. Break them into steps. Assign priorities. A written plan is the bridge between imagination and action. Without organization, even the best idea is wasted. Chapter 6: The Mastermind Principle. One of the most fascinating parts of this book is the mastermind principle. Carnegie told Hill that no one achieves greatness alone. Even geniuses like Edison had teams, partners, and collaborators. The mastermind principle is about surrounding yourself with people who amplify your thinking. When two or more minds come together with harmony, they create a kind of third, higher mind. Ideas spark. Energy multiplies. Hill encourages everyone to form their own mastermind group, a small circle of like-minded people who meet regularly to discuss goals, share insights, and hold each other accountable. Think about it. Your environment shapes your mind. If you're constantly around negative, small-minded people, your thoughts shrink. But if you're around ambitious, creative thinkers, your mind expands. Chapter: The Role of Habit. Training your mind daily. The last major pillar of mental ownership is habit. Hill makes it clear, your mind is always forming habits, whether you want it to or not. Every repeated thought, every repeated action carves grooves in your brain. Over time, those grooves become automatic. If you constantly think about problems, you develop the habit of worry. If you constantly focus on opportunities, you develop the habit of optimism. The key is to deliberately create habits that align with your purpose. That might mean affirmations. It might mean journaling. It might mean reviewing your goals daily. Carnegie's advice was simple: control your habits, or they will control you. Chapter 8: Pulling it all together. All right, let's put the whole formula together. To own your mind, you must choose your definite purpose. Decide exactly what you want. Train your imagination. Use creative vision daily. Master controlled attention. Focus deeply on what matters most. Organize your thinking. Turn raw ideas into structured plans. Build a mastermind group. Surround yourself with powerful thinkers. Shape your habits. Reprogram your mind through repetition. When you combine all six, something amazing happens. Your mind stops being your enemy and becomes your greatest ally. Instead of drifting, you direct. Instead of reacting, you create. Instead of living by chance, you live by design. Closing. So, let me ask you, are you truly the master of your mind, or are you just a passenger? Napoleon Hill's How to Own Your Own Mind is more than just a book. It's a challenge to stop drifting, to stop letting fear and distraction run the show, and to step into the role of captain of your own ship. Andrew Carnegie believed that when a person learns to master their mind, there is nothing on earth that can stop them. And now, you have that same blueprint in your hands. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more powerful book summaries, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, success doesn't start with money, or luck, or even talent. It starts right here, with the thoughts you choose to think and the mind you choose to own.